Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, I'm just going to totally go off. So make sure you stick around for this one and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, this particular video is totally unplanned. We had finished shooting all the content for today. So I was just sitting here watching the news, different shows, ESPN First Take, and Undisputed. And as y'all know, we've done some videos discussing the blatant and unwarranted disrespect to Giannis. Let me say it again, because maybe some people don't know. Giannis is not my favorite player by any stretch of the imagination. He is one of my favorite players. Kawhi Leonard is my favorite basketball player. However, I think the level of resistance and disrespect that Giannis continues to get by some people in the media is flat out offensive and is ridiculous. It has gotten to a point where this thing needs to stop. It needs to stop because basically what we're saying is we are going to choose to not reward people that are committed to basketball, that play for the right reason. We're not going to reward people that actually deliver results. We're going to pick and choose people we want to support based on whether or not we like their personality or not. To me, it makes no sense. Skip Bayless, for whatever reason, has found every opportunity to disrespect Giannis for reasons that are unbeknownst to me. I don't understand it. Yet, he feels more comfortable heaping praise on a Kevin Durant that has publicly disrespected him and dismissed his basketball knowledge on numerous occasions. Nevertheless, he finds no issue whatsoever with heaping praise on KD. But when it comes to Giannis, a guy that is not outspoken, doesn't go out there and tweet a lot, doesn't bring a lot of attention to himself, all he does is work extremely hard on his craft. But when it comes to Giannis, for him to open his mouth and give the guy any credit is like trying to squeeze water from a stone. I had already made my position clear on this issue. But today, I was listening to an exchange between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless on Undisputed. And as y'all know, Shannon Sharpe is one of the biggest supporters of Giannis, not because I believe he likes Giannis, but because he's doing it out of necessity. I think Shannon Sharpe has sat back and looked at the landscape of the sports media world and said, wait a minute, why is it that we have so many players that get rewarded that haven't done half of what Giannis has accomplished in the NBA playoffs? Nevertheless, we're willing to give these guys the benefit of the doubt. What is going on here? So today I was listening to an exchange between the two of them. They were asking them, who do you pick in game 2 going into Boston tonight with the Bucks versus the Celtics? And towards the end of that exchange, Skip Bayless started making some obtuse, obscure point as to why Giannis is not yet the best player, and Shannon Sharpe blatantly called him out on it. So for those of you who missed that exchange between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, take a listen to what Shannon Sharpe had to say to Skip Bayless, where he essentially called him down to the carpet. Take a listen to that, and we're going to come back here and react to it. Take a listen to what Shannon Sharpe had to say here.
I love the Celtics tonight because I think you're going to see more of the team that wiped out my Nets.
That ain't saying nothing.
Yep.
That ain't saying nothing. The Nets don't play defense. All they try to do is outscore you. And when their two guys can't score the basketball, they look really, really bad. The Milwaukee Bucks play defense. They're a big, physical basketball team led by the best player on the planet, regardless of, you can show he missed 40 shots. He's still the best.
Quote, unquote. So now you contend that LeBron is the GOAT, and he's the phony GOAT, and you contend that Giannis is the best player on the planet.
He is.
I just demonstrated he ain't.
Skip. So let me ask you a question. What about when Kevin Durant missed, was 9 of 24. Kevin Durant was 4 of 17.
Yep.
I don't need to show all the shots that he missed, but he didn't have an imprint on the green because he never had double-digit assists.
We're talking about Giannis.
But I'm just, Skip, if I just say, okay, I'm going to show Giannis missing the shots, I could have showed KD missing the shots, but.
I did.
No.
I showed him. Every day I showed him.
Did you show?
I said he just slipped right off the throne. He is no longer
So
the
who's the best player on the planet?
We don't know yet.
Yeah, we do know.
I'm waiting to see about Giannis, and I'm not
Hold
seeing.
on, time out. You waiting to see. The man just won the title last year. So what are you waiting to see?
I got to see him validate now that the title was not open last year because Durant ran away with it.
Hold on. He won the title. You gave the title to KD because he won the title against LeBron. Giannis goes to KD house, beats him in a game 7, drops 50 in a closeout game.
You know, and I know, if his toenail hadn't been on the line, KD's going to win another time.
Yeah, come on, we can't do that. What if? We got to do with what we know.
Yeah, I'm watching closely tonight. I need to see best player on the planet.
You saw
I think
him.
I want to see green, lots of green.
You saw him.
Now, let me tell you something. This thing is getting out of hand. Going into the playoffs, some people said Kevin Durant is the best player in the world. Some people said it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Going into that series between the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets, we were told by people in the media and fans that KD and Kyrie are the most skilled duo in the history of basketball. That's number one. Number two, we were told that Kevin Durant is probably the best scorer of his era. Where did I get the definition of an era, the time span? I got it from Emmanuel Acho on, Speak for Yourself, where he said he describes an era as a decade, basically a 10-year duration of time. We have been told that KD is one of the greatest scorers of all time. When he went into that series against the Boston Celtics, the number 1 rated defense in the NBA, what happened? The Boston Celtics put Kevin Durant, a guy that has been part of the 50-40-90 club. Think about this. The 50-40-90 club, they put this guy in a straitjacket. KD in that series averaged 26.3 points per game, 0.3 blocks, 1 steal, 6.3 assists. He shot 89% from the floor, 33%, a guy that's been a part of the 50-40-90 club, and 38.6% from the field. Yet, and he got swept in 4 games. Then we have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis went against that same team, went into Boston without Chris Middleton, walked into the building, and in that game, he went in there, scored 24 points. He shot terribly from the floor, about 52% from the free throw line, 0% from the 3, but got you 12 rebounds or 13 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 blocks, and 5 turnovers. And at the end of that, there's some people still talking about they're trying to figure out who the best player in the world is, and that's what Shannon Sharpe was talking about. He said, "What do you mean you don't know who the best player in the world is? What do you mean?" Giannis in that one game was able to accomplish way more than Kevin Durant was able to do in 4 attempts. But nevertheless, it still remains unclear to Skip Bayless that whether or not Giannis is better. Listen, this needs to stop. It needs to stop. It's beginning to make me think about things I don't want to think about. Seriously, what is the issue with Giannis? What is the issue with Giannis? How is it possible you see more upside in Ben Simmons, but when a guy that sits up there and is known for being one of the laziest players in the world, but nevertheless, when it comes to Giannis, you sit there, you nitpick this guy? What is the issue? What is it with Giannis? What is the issue? I'm not understanding. What do you need to see? Is it the way he speaks? Is it his accent? What is it? Because I'm beginning to believe that there's some type of xenophobic element to all of this. Some people may say it's wrong. So I'm trying to understand, if it's not that, what is it? What does Giannis have to prove? What does he have to prove? In that one championship that he won with the Milwaukee Bucks last season, Giannis became the anti-super team superstar in the NBA, and that's why he called out a lot of these dudes in that post-game conference when he said, "I did it the right way. It would have been easy for me to go join a team, link up with a bunch of other all-stars and win a championship, but I did it the right bleeping way." How is it that you still find it so hard to discredit the guy? And when they ask you, when Shannon Sharpe asked you about it, he didn't have a bloody thing to say. Not even a single point did he have to make. None whatsoever. He just decided, you know what? I'm not going to give this guy his props for whatever reason. What is the issue with Giannis? What is the issue? And if you guys couldn't see the video because we don't own the content, you could see that Shannon Sharpe was actually boiling, and he wanted to take it a step further, but he was able to restrain himself. I don't have to restrain myself. I'm not on TV. I don't have to. To me, it makes no sense. Skip needs to stop. It needs to stop. The guy went into the NBA Finals last year, delivered one of the single greatest performances you will ever see in an NBA Finals game. And at the end of all of that, you still found a way to undercut his success. How is that? Not even how. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? This is my question. Why is it so hard to give Giannis his credit? Why is it so hard? I don't understand it. It's not adding up to me. There's no logic in what's happening. There's no basketball analysis that's taking place here that you could say, okay, he's talking about, well, Giannis, he missed this shot. Did he miss it? Did you see Kevin Durant in that series? They were ragdolling him, to use Skip Bayless's term. He looked like a goddamn spaghetti in the wind. Meanwhile, you got a guy that went in there without his second best player, got the W, and at the end of all of that, we're talking about, oh, we have to figure out whether or not he's still the best player in the world. So how the hell does Kevin Durant get to be? He said, no, it's no longer Kevin Durant. So who is it? Who's the best player? I don't know. We got to wait and see. And that's why Shannon Sharpe said, wait and see for what? This thing, I'm going to leave it at that. But listen, this has to stop. It has to stop. You cannot have that platform, that audience, and be doing this to people that are actually making the most of their opportunity in the NBA. Meanwhile, you can find every excuse in the book for Ben Simmons, but you cannot find an excuse for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Help me understand what the hell is going on here. What is it that Giannis did? What is it about him that makes it so hard to give him his credit? What is the issue? Nobody wants to answer it. Are we just going to sit here and wonder? We know the word that we're all thinking. What's the issue? I don't understand it. Giannis is good for basketball. He brings in an international audience. He brings some class to the game. The guy is sitting there cracking jokes in the post-game conferences talking about making dad jokes. Doing the right thing. And you still find it hard to give this. To me, it's disgusting. Sorry that I'm a little bit so boisterous and abrasive in this particular bit, but I couldn't compose myself. It's that egregious to me.